Hi, this is Ennis from Never Stop Trucking. We are talking about loads, load specifics, and what to look for in a load, whether you're a dispatcher or a truck driver, owner, operator looking for your own loads. So, when you call on a load, there are a few questions that you're going to be asking. And first question obviously is going to be where the load is picking up, what city, and what city is it going to. Once you negotiate all the facts and thinking of, once you start thinking about taking the load, then you can ask for a shipping company, like who the shipper is, who the receiver is, and that also depends. Sometimes you really have to ask for that. Depends on the commodity, and we'll talk about that. First, you ask where the load is going to, where the load is picking up, how heavy the load is, what is the commodity of the load, what's the product, is the load palletized or is it floor loaded. Then you ask for the rate. Okay, so if you ask for the rate right away, then it just makes it sound bad. But you want to ask the broker first about the specifics. Even if you ask them for a rate first, they will probably go on to tell you about the load first, and then they will tell you the rate, and that's for a good reason. Next thing you're asking is if there is any driver assist involved, and what kind of assisting. Usually, if they say no touch, that means that there is no assisting, but you still might want to ask about that. You can also ask them if there are any lumpers. Usually they are there. If there is a lumper service, it's usually at the receiver side. Sometimes, rarely, they have it at the shipper side as well. Once you ask them about the rate, then you try to negotiate. Okay, I have a video about negotiating in good times, and that was before these bad markets started. And then I made a video about negotiating prices of the loads in bad times, so you can both check them out on my channel. How to do that, I'm not going to talk about that in this video, but these are all the small specifics. Okay, let's deep dive into all this, because sometimes a certain answer from the broker will require an additional question. So if we go back to asking what city is it picking up and where is it delivering, then you are going to look it up on your map and see how far this is from the pickup, where your driver is located now, and then you would do all the miles. I usually include all miles, deadhead, and loaded miles in my prices. So when I try to determine how much the load is paying per mile, I include all the miles, including the deadhead. Okay, and then once you figure out where the cities are, then you're gonna be looking if there are any tolls along the way. Like, for example, if you go to upstate New York, or if you go like on I-76 in Pennsylvania, and then some bridges, in New Jersey, New York City. South has some tolls, but they're not that expensive. But the most expensive ones are usually on the east, and then Chicago area has tolls too. So you are looking up if the load has any tolls, and then that will be a factor in negotiating a load. You will ask for more money because of the fact that this route includes tolls. And then also, if there are any mountains, usually if the load is heavy and there are mountains, then you may want to avoid that load. Or even if the load is light, then drivers sometimes, inexperienced drivers would have a problem with mountains. Also, if all this depends on weather conditions. If it's winter, then you have to know some states in the West require chains, and it's not a good idea to drive to through some of these states, like Wyoming and Utah. Only experienced drivers should go that way. Okay. Now we go back to the commodity. You ask what it is. If they say, let's just say, bottled water, then that kind of tells you, well, this might be one of those big DCs, might be a Coke facility. Where is it going to? Is it going to Sam's Club, Walmart, Dollar General, something like that. Just ask those questions and then see if the driver wants to go there. And you can also go to Google Maps and or Google and Google those receivers and shippers. Usually they have reviews, and usually drivers will leave them reviews. If they have bad ratings, like 2.9, that's probably not a good place to go, okay? Because usually they have long unloading times or something is off. They will usually tell you when the load is delivering, but you always want them to be more specific. If they say delivers in the morning, like when in the morning, delivers in the afternoon, when. They sometimes say this load goes straight through, but it's actually not straight through. Straight through is something, where a driver picks up a load and goes right on to delivery, and then they take the load right away. If the driver has to wait 5 hours for the appointment time that they have set up, then that's not a straight through load. Brokers like to throw that phrase around. I don't know if it's knowingly or unknowingly, but they still state these facts even though they are not true. Okay, so when does it deliver? What time? How long does it take to unload? How long does it take to load? And then, like we said, depends on the specifics of the load. If they say that this is paper, so you have to investigate a little further. What kind of paper is it? Because paper, that's a broad term. Is it rolls of paper? Is it scrap paper, cardboard boxes, printing materials? You gotta be more specific, and then you go on from there, and then you ask the driver if the driver wants to do that or not. Usually when they say paper, that's a red flag. Then you have to investigate also who the receiver is and shipper, how long they're doing the unloading. And if they say 40,000 pounds is the weight, then you gotta be skeptical about that, because usually these loads are they weigh more. Okay, so these are some specifics that you should be looking in a load. If you have another suggestion or a comment about this, leave me a comment in the comment section, and if I forgot about something, just let me know. Subscribe to this channel, like the video. If you're an owner operator looking for someone to dispatch, you go to 3blogistics.me, and then we can take care of you. We can look for loads for you, so you don't have to be spending your time. You can concentrate on driving. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you around.